Hello and welcome. I'm Catherine Osborne, President and CEO of Corporate Harmony, and I'll be your host for today's webinar with the help of your certified subject matter experts. I am the author of the book Corporate Harmony, the performance link for today's modern organization, and of the upcoming book Healthcare Harmony, Thriving in the Line of Fire. I am also a licensed affiliate, certified coach, and the Canadian representative for the Centre for Influential Leadership, where we develop leaders for increased productivity, enhanced teamwork, greater initiative, and more agility with change. The Centre's founder, Dr. Michael Frisina, spent his career in healthcare administration and is now an internationally recognized leadership expert, speaker, and author, specializing in the creation of tactical capacity in leaders and organizational teams worldwide. Tactical capacity can be thought of as any behavior that is not a technically explicit behavior. In other words, tactical capacity is the behavior that enables you to be a role model for your direct reports. It's the behavior that guides operational improvements. It's the behavior that creates organizational culture. It's the behavior that guides others through change. And it's the behavior that allows you to sustain excellence on the job. But first, some housekeeping. I would ask everyone to pick up your smartphone or electrical device and turn it off. Then place it in the middle of the table, face down. Thank you. The time we spend together here today is your time and no one else's, and it's important that you enjoy this time without the pressures of the outside world. One of the things that we practice throughout these sessions is the art of being present in the moment with me. You will remember that as humans, you are made up of electromagnetic, neurochemical, emotional energy, and that the physical body of who you are is just a wee piece within the energy body of who you really are. In essence, who you are is comprised of your physical body and the entire biofield that exists within you and around you. You are a continuous, unending flow of energy with a body of physical matter from which it flows. The art of being present requires that your personal energy flow be as coherent as possible, as smooth as possible. To attain a coherent energy flow requires practice, but even more importantly, it requires awareness. The more positive your energy flow becomes, the more coherent your biofield becomes. The more you practice, the more aware you become. And the more aware you become, the easier it is for you to create the positively balanced energy needed for coherence. The easier it becomes to create a coherent flow of positively balanced energy within you and around you. The easier it is for you to be present in the moment with me. Our physical energy flow is easily disrupted, but it can be reset using a very focused breathing exercise. So please close your eyes, put both feet flat on the floor, and sit comfortably in your chair. Now, take a deep, deep breath. Inhale. Fill up your lungs until they push your abdomen right out. 1, 2, 3. Now slowly, slowly exhale every tiny bit of air and blow away every bit of your work responsibility for right now in this moment. 2, 3. I will be counting for your breath, but if you can't keep up such a slow pace, just breathe as comfortable for you, understanding that the slower, the better. And it will come with practice. Now, take another very slow, deep breath. 1, relax and drop your shoulders. 2, feel the tenseness leave your hands, your arms, your face, your neck. 3, and now slowly, slowly exhale every tiny bit of air. 1, and relax your chest, your abdomen, your hips, and your legs, and your feet. 2, 3. Now again, take a deep breath. 1, fill up your lungs until they push your abdomen right out. 2, 3. Now slowly, slowly, exhale every tiny bit of air. 1. And blow away every bit of your home life that is heavy on you. 2. And allow yourself to feel peace right now, in this moment. 3. And now, open your eyes. You have just done a natural reboot of your personal energy field, also known as your biofield. You will remember that you are just a tiny bit physical, but in comparison, you are a much larger energy field that flows beyond your physical body. This natural reboot exercise helps to bring you into coherence. It helps to bring you into the here and now. It brings you back into the moment. We will be discussing behavior in these sessions, but as you may have already realized, you cannot discuss behavior without an awareness of your personal human energy, because your behavior is, for the most part, the physical manifestation of your thoughts and feelings. It is the physical manifestation of your energy. Today, we are continuing with the self-awareness domain of the positive presence behavior competencies of influential leadership. And we are looking at the first principle, discover and establish your inner core. Identifying your values is a way for you to build awareness. But first, let's begin today with the most powerful exercise there is, the exercise of gratefulness. You may remember that it's not just about counting your blessings. The real power comes from the feelings that these thoughts create within you. That overwhelming feeling of love and peace, the feelings of being blessed that brings with it an understanding that I'm good. In fact, I am great. I am enough right here, right now. The script for your exercise of gratefulness is very personal and unique to each one of you. But for today's purposes, I have adapted from my friend Dina Proctor, who you can find at www.dinaproctor.com. Welcome to the Mini-Med for Gratefulness. For the next couple of minutes, I invite you to sit comfortably, and for the next few minutes, just let your body, every muscle, completely relax any tension right now. And as you feel your body relaxing every muscle, just releasing any tension, you may also notice that your mind is relaxing as well. Just settling in to a deep feeling of calm, warm peacefulness. As you settle into this wonderful, peaceful state, let your mind show you images of those things you most deeply appreciate in your life. There's no need to make it happen. Just in your relaxed state, invite your intuitive knowing to present images, memories, and thoughts of the events, circumstances, and people in your life for which you feel deep, deep gratitude and deep appreciation for. Just let these memories, these images, show themselves in the screen of your mind. Each one, let yourself feel the emotion of deep, deep gratitude and of profound appreciation for this person or this situation. When your body, mind, and soul unite as one in deep gratitude, for these amazing, amazing people and things in your life. And as you let your body take one last deep, deep breath in, anchor in this emotion of gratitude physically and emotionally so that you can come back and reconnect to it whenever you feel drawn to it. Come back to awareness. Notice your surroundings. What do you see? Is there anyone beside you? Across from you? What sounds do you hear? Influential leaders have an inner strength that comes from a foundational commitment to who they are and what they believe in. Today, we are focusing on the first principle of the self-awareness domain of the positive presence behavior competencies of influential leadership. Discover and establish your inner core. Professional success doesn't begin with external performance. It begins with internal strength and conviction of who you are and what makes you tick and what you need to live and work at your best. It begins by identifying your inner qualities that are needed for you to enjoy a life of peace and joy. The ultimate goal of human existence is to live a joyful and abundant life. Everyone strives for that existence, whether they know it or not. When you consider that you spend a great part of your waking hours at work, then the optimum work environment should be one that strengthens and supports your quest for peace and joy as well. Research in the neurosciences has confirmed that when you are in a joyful emotional state, it is then that you have the ability for optimal performance, for creating strong relationships, and for experiencing good health. Your personal values are there to guide behavior and choice, much the same as business core values. Identifying your values enables you to be swift and focused in your decision-making with clear direction. Identifying your values and then living in sync with them allows you for living in harmony with your choices, your choice of friendships, relationships, professional and business partnerships, how you choose to manage your personal resources such as time and money, and how you stay true to yourself. Without personal value clarity, you will suffer from cognitive dissonance, a term often used to describe the feelings of discomfort that result from holding two conflicting beliefs. These uncomfortable feelings occur when there is a discrepancy between our beliefs and the values and our behavior. We come pre-wired, actually, to protect ourselves from this. Our existence craves peace, joy, and harmony. So something must change within us in order to eliminate or reduce the cognitive dissonance. In many instances, and even unknown to us, our biological system automatically triggers the famous fight, flight, freeze response, or the stress response. Those uncomfortable feelings are just one of the many triggers of our biological reactions. But when we become aware of them, then we can do something about them. One way is through clearly identifying your values. It takes personal value clarity to eliminate or reduce the dissonance. Without it, you will ultimately suffer from bad stress, low emotional energy, lack of motivation, low productivity at work and at home, poor relationships, and overall poor health. Research in the field of neuroscience using advanced brain imaging technology has proven that when we are suffering from cognitive dissonance, we're caught up in a personal flow of negative energy, whether it is generated from within ourselves or generated from within another person. And the research evidence is clear that negative human energy breeds a toxic, unhealthy work environment, one wrought with decreasing productivity, low quality ratings, increased accident incidents, high absenteeism because of illness, increased stress leaves, and short and long-term disability claims. Your foundational behavior skill of discover and establish your inner core is necessary for building internal strength and external trust. As an influential leader, you do not seek to conform to the latest trends and fashions in popular culture. Rather, influential leaders make a conscious choice about who they are and what they believe in. Their strength comes from consciously choosing the purposes they live for and the core values they live by. Throughout time, scholars have said, "You are what you think." A telephone answering machine is programmed to ask two simple questions: who are you and what do you want? You know, many people have lived their entire lives without answering either question for themselves. In your manual, there's a quote by James Allen on page 2. It says, "Man is made or unmade by himself. In the armory of his thoughts, he forges the weapons by which he destroys himself. He also fashions the tools with which he builds for himself heavenly mansions of joy, peace, and strength. By the right choice and true application of thought, man ascends to the divine perfection." James Allen lived from 1864 to 1912. He was a British philosopher, writer known for his inspirational books and poetry, and as a pioneer of the self-help movement. His best-known work, As a Man Thinketh, has been mass-produced since its publication in 1902. He's often regarded as the original personal development training guru. As the Buddha says, the mind is everything. What you think, you become. Consequently, you must know your values and live your values. The core on which you build your life is your source of inner strength and courage. It is also your source of external credibility and the trust you create in relationships with other people. A strong core begins with your inner thought life that extends outward in your behavior. The purity of your inner core and its strength of conviction determine the degree of external influence you have in the lives of others. Who you are determines what you do. The thoughts and values of your inner core drive your external behaviors. That is why we are always known to others by how they experience us in our behavior. Remember this, no one's behavior is a secret. Thought, character, and behavior are inextricably linked in a cause and effect relationship in the law of the harvest. What you sow, you shall surely reap. This slide depicts the law of the harvest. The fruit is your performance, conduct, behavior, and habits of action. The roots are your habits of the heart, your thoughts, your beliefs, and your attitudes. What roots do for a tree, your foundation does for your life. The foundation on which you build your life, your values and beliefs, provides support and nourishment for everything you do. Your roots determine your fruit. In other words, high performance above the ground requires strength below ground. Purpose and principles shape performance. Character and courage shape conduct. Belief shapes behavior. Habits of the heart shapes habits of action. Your roots determine your fruit. Everyone has roots. The question is, how healthy are they? It is never too late to cultivate your root system and build your foundation. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is today. James Allen wrote, "Every man is where he is by the law of his being. The thoughts which he has built into his character have brought him there, and in the arrangement of his life there is no element of chance, but all of it is the result of a law that cannot err." As a leader, you are in a position to direct, shape, and focus the potential of others to a specific result, and this cannot be taken lightly. Your values are at the heart of who you are and therefore how you behave and influence others. When you are self-aware, you can be purposeful and intentional about your beliefs and values and the person you want to be. When you are self-aware, you can choose your values with intention and live and work in a way that is consistent to your values. You can live and work with a mutual, beneficial, meaningful purpose. There are 3 types of values. Accidental values. This is when people absorb the value system promoted by the popular culture. As a result, they accidentally follow someone else's values. Situational values is when people let situations and circumstances determine their value system. As a result, they change their values whenever it seems convenient or expedient. Accidental values and situational values can also arise from an unhealthy environment growing up or an unhealthy work environment. Intentional values is when people are purposeful and intentional about their core belief system. They choose the beliefs and values that are core for them and then build their life on that foundation. They live and work in a way that is consistent with their guiding principles, and as a result, they earn the trust and respect of others. Building a strong foundation means being intentional rather than accidental or situational about your value system. You either live your life in self-awareness linked to purpose, or you live in a lack of awareness and simply live life going through the proverbial motions. At the heart of influential leadership, we have 3 C's. The core, from the Latin word for heart. Core values are the guiding principles at the heart of your life and work. Courage, also derived from the Latin word for heart. To have courage means to have strength of heart and to be guided by your heart, not by your circumstances. And character, from a Greek word which means to engrave or stamp. Your character is determined by the values and guiding principles that you engrave on your heart. A strong foundation does not just happen. You must build it. You determine what is core for you. You determine what is on your heart. You build your character. Again, be intentional. Don't be accidental or situational. Again, here is the formula. E plus R equals O. You will remember that this formula was originally given to us by Jack Canfield, author of the Success Principles and co-author of the Chicken Soup for the Soul series. This equation is the physics of life. Event plus response equals outcome. There's an old saying, you build character through the daily discipline of aligning your behavior with your beliefs. Doing this is most important when it is most difficult. You must use your values to guide how you respond to life and work. You must develop the discipline and discernment to see your attitudes and actions through the filter of your core belief system. We cannot allow circumstances or emotional impulses to direct our behavior. This is easy, though, when life is treating us well. This gets really, really difficult, though, when life and circumstance seem to be against us. The important thing is, we mustn't settle for less than our best, ever. The time is now to make a deep and unwavering commitment to personal excellence, to be purposeful with your decisions and your actions, to live life not by accident, but to know who you are and what you believe in. Your foundation, your core values, are your guiding principles that help you respond effectively to the events of life and work. You might remember that positive presence is our term for the skill of adjusting and creating a positive and energized mindset through conscious thought processes. Neuroscientists, looking at cognitive functioning and behavior, have suggested that, simply put, we can access our personal energy flow through our feelings. Feelings such as happiness and optimism can be linked to a positive energy flow, and feelings such as anger and frustration can be linked to a negative energy flow. We can control our feelings with our thoughts, and it is through our thought process that we choose how to behave. And the bottom line is, the measurable result of a person's energy flow is reflected by one's choice of behavior. So if our behavior is a reflection of our feelings and thoughts, what feelings and/or behaviors should we try to aim for? We have composed a list of some of the most talked about positive behaviors and/or feelings that we should choose to spend most of our time in and around. Here's the list of the top 20 plus. Number 1, kindness. Number 2, fairness. Number 3, servanthood. Ask yourself, what can I do in service to my coworker, my spouse, myself? Choose one behavior for each person, including yourself, each day. Number 4, consistently constructive actions that will better the work life or home life of those around you are also positive in nature. Number 5, a focus that is on the present and future. Don't dwell on past disservices of either yourself or others. That was yesterday. Live and dwell in today. Number 6, when at work, stay focused. Set priorities and stick to task. Don't procrastinate on the stuff you don't like to do either. Number 7, lack of bitterness. Of the entire world, the greatest example of lack of bitterness might possibly be the late Nelson Mandela. Number 8, an easy display of compassion. Always strive to approach every situation with an open and compassionate heart. Number 9, one who consistently exhibits feelings and/or behaviors of calm, rational, generous, and loving behavior are indicators of the positive. Number 10, being open to personal sacrifice for the good of others are also indicators of a positive mindset. Number 11, a person skilled in the positive consistently displays self-control, authenticity, and is an encouraging force to be around. Number 12, an attitude that is enthusiastic, active, and alert is indicative of a positive flow. Number 13, displaying evidence of self-awareness, either in word or deed, is the precursor of a positive energy flow. Number 14, being open-minded and easily accepting of change requires a positive mind, one which is ready to mesh and move with others in a new direction. Number 15, if you've ever participated in an employee engagement workshop, the behaviors sought after are positive in nature and known as employee engagement behavior or organizational citizen behavior, and sometimes also they're referred to as contextual performance. Number 16, behaviors associated with a high EQ, emotional intelligence, are all positive in nature as well. Number 17, you may have heard reference made to active listening or possessing a listening ear. This aptitude requires positive and controlled energy to keep your own energy in the background and to allow others to be heard. Number 18, desire and energy for continuous learning and self-growth is indicative of adeptness of positive presence. Number 19, a person of positive influence uses influence to create a better environment and is a role model to others. Number 20, a strong skill set of positive presence displays as inclusive, cooperative, optimistic, grounded, humble, authentic, and works well with others. Number 21, the positive presence skill builds the capacity for self-control, for attaining balance between care and candor, for attaining balance between contribution and community, and is tenaciously persistent in seeking good for others. And number 22, a person with a mature skill of positive presence possesses a high standard of excellence, takes the initiative, and communicates openly, honestly, and continuously in the workplace. As a human, you are made up of electromagnetic, neurochemical, emotional energy. The physical body of who you are is just a wee piece within the energy body of who you really are. This slide illustrates the energy phenomenon of what, as a human, we really are. You can see by this that you are really much, much bigger than just your physical body. In actuality, and paraphrasing from Dr. Joe Dispenza in his book, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, How to Lose Your Mind and Create a New One, he says, if an atom is 99.99999% energy and 0.00001% physical substance, and you are nothing more than a bunch of atoms combining together, then you are actually much more of nothing than something. This area of energy that is beyond your physical self is your biofield. And in the business world, we often refer to it as your 20 square feet. Identifying your values is a way for you to build awareness of your feelings. It's a way for you to build awareness of your personal energy. In fact, you can assess your personal energy flow through your feelings. Feelings such as happiness and optimism can be linked to a positive energy flow, and feelings such as anger or frustration can be linked to a negative energy flow. You can control your feelings with your conscious thought, and actually, it is through your thought process that you choose how to behave. Your values that allow you to connect with others only exist in and for a flow of positive emotional energy. A strength-building culture of full engagement only exists in and for a coherent flow of positive emotional energy. A clear and concise picture of your beliefs and values as they exist today, and perhaps even your goals and aspirations of tomorrow, is essential for an enlightened life and a life of harmony. Resistance to change, the uncomfortable feeling, must become less than the desire times dissatisfaction times practicality. Influential leadership is all about change. Let's face it, if we're not changing, chances are we're not alive. Resistance to change is normal and natural. Woodrow Wilson acknowledged this phenomenon when he said, "If you want to make enemies quickly, just try to change something." You see, the minute our brain realizes we are moving out of our norm, it automatically sets off the famous fright, flight, freeze response to some extent. Influential leaders teach themselves to prepare for that. First, by understanding that change, particularly in today's world, is continuous, fast, and disruptive. In other words, we must become accustomed to the disruptiveness of change in our workplace. To do that, we must create a mindset that will embrace continuous change and thrive in it. You must understand that it is what it is. Then you must understand the dissatisfaction or problem that's driving the change. As a human, one of our basic needs is to make sense of our environment. Finally, you embrace the change. I can do this. Let's get her done. Only then will your resistance decrease enough to allow you to move on in a healthy manner. This process necessitates you to know your values, who you are, what drives you. This process necessitates that you have an inner strength that will move you through the process with a positive and energized mindset, rather than a mindset of frustration and resentment. Sometimes it's enough just to tell yourself, it is what it is. I can do this. Let's get her done. As well, there's no doubt that being involved in the planning process of change and having a deep understanding of the need for the change provides us with huge leverage for change resistance. Unfortunately, the more complex an organizational system is, the more difficult it is to involve mid-level and frontline participants in the actual planning process. And modern healthcare organizations are some of the most complex organizational systems on the planet. Change planning processes can take as long as 12 months or even more, even years. And in healthcare, many change planning processes occur at a ministry level. It is inevitable, actually, that you will at some point in your career find yourself faced with the necessity to make a change that you don't agree with, for whatever the reason. And the reasons are unlimited. One reason might be that it just doesn't make sense to you. Another reason might be that you fear the change will put patient care at risk. Another reason might be that you fear the change will place even more responsibility on your shoulders. No matter what the reason is that you disagree with the change, it is legitimate, important, and normal. And this is where self-awareness becomes critical for you, because chances are you have very little, if any, choice in the matter. It is at this point, at this moment, that the only choice you do have is how you are going to respond to the change situation. It's the R in the equation. In fact, at this point in the process, it really doesn't matter whether the necessity for change is driven by financial restrictions, change in resources, or research and development. At this point, the only thing that really matters is how well you respond to the change event, the E. Again, it's the R in the equation that is so very, very important. How you choose to respond will affect how well you can perform your job. How you choose to respond will affect how easily you are able to create and maintain relationships at work. And how you choose to respond will affect your overall personal wellness, your physical health, and your mind health. Your aptitude for the skill of positive presence, your ability for a positive and energized mindset, determines the quality of your response. Your response, no matter what it is, must be such that you are able to maintain positive emotional energy. Your response must be such that you are able to maintain your strength, your health, your resilience, and most importantly, a positive, healthy attitude. A positive R, a positive response to the event, to the E, doesn't mean you agree with the change, but it does mean that you will be a happier, healthier, and more productive person. So, the fundamental question to a healthy life is, are you change capable? Underlying this question is another question. How are you responding to the change and the chaos in your workplace and the stress that accompanies both of them? Change is inevitable, and so too is your resistance to it. Developing the awareness and creating the necessary thought and behavior habits that can help you rise above the chaos is a must in order for you and your organization to thrive, to grow, and to sustain a high level of performance excellence. An understanding and awareness of your 20 square feet, that part of you that is energy rather than physical matter, is a critical piece. You can assess your personal energy flow through your feelings. Remember, feelings such as happiness and optimism, they are linked to a positive energy flow or coherence. And feelings such as anger and frustration are linked to a negative energy flow. Your brain tends to match feelings to your pre-existing thought patterns. So realistically, you can create new thought patterns to match your feelings too, and in essence, control your feelings with these new thought patterns. It's the neuroplasticity of your brain that allows it to create and implant new thought processes that are healthy and productive for you. The healthy and productive thoughts are the positive and energizing ones. This ability lies within each and every one of you, and unlike most everything else as you age, this ability does not diminish with age. So, yes, you are change capable. Now, it is time for a personal check-in. This means that it's time to be mindful, a time to pause and ask yourself questions. So please close your eyes. The reason you must close your eyes when you do exercises like this is because your eyes bombard your brain with messages at the speed of light. So fast, in fact, that for the most part, it is completely unconscious to you. So now, take a deep, deep breath and repeat with me, either silently or aloud. What sort of feelings have I had since my last check-in? And count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What have my thought patterns been like since my last check-in? And count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What have my behavior patterns been like since my last check-in? And count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and open your eyes. Having first been introduced to this in your positive present skill building, you should be getting into the habit of doing this by now, and you may even have noticed and even been surprised by some of the answers that are coming to you. Regardless of what the answers are, there is no answer that is ever wrong or bad. The goal is for your feelings, your thoughts, and your behaviors to move you with peace and grace toward what you want, whatever that may be. A personal check-in is also a good opportunity for you to do a physical body scan. You've been sitting for a while now, and you will need to stretch your muscles. So, either sitting or you can stand, and make a conscious effort to bring your body to a state of relaxed anticipation. Beginning at the top of your head, as you slowly breathe in and then out, I want you to first consciously acknowledge the top of your head, your scalp, and then focus on relaxing your scalp. Next, consciously acknowledge your face, and then focus on relaxing your face. Now, your arms and your hands. Gently shake them out. Now your chest, your abdomen, your hips, your legs, and your feet. Wiggle your toes and stretch it out and count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, if you are standing, please take a seat. And again, please close your eyes. This time, I would ask you to repeat after me, either silently or aloud. Please allow my mind to be open and accepting of all information coming to me, that I may think upon it in the days to come. Now open your eyes. In the next slide, we will take just a couple of minutes to practice opening the mind. So again, please close your eyes. Welcome to the Mini-Med for Thought Cleansing for an Open Mind. For these couple of minutes, I invite you to find a comfortable position for your body and let every muscle relax any tension right now. You may be feeling that there are so many thoughts, it just feels like your brain is so crowded, and you would love to be able to just have a thorough cleansing, to have any thoughts that no longer serve you to be easily removed and released, and to have those good flowering thoughts be even more deeply planted in your mind. Imagine that there's a warm ball of light energy that is surrounding your physical being and concentrated right around your head, just bringing a feeling of warm, supportive love around your mind and your brain. This warm light and this ball of energy is easily able to infiltrate right into your brain, right into every aspect of your mind. Let this energy in and invite it to do its work. Let it encompass every brain cell, every dimension of your mind,
and weed out, easily releasing any thoughts that no longer serve you, and rewire any thinking that needs to be rewired right now. If there's something specific that's been bothering you, invite the warm, healing light to handle that situation, to come in and sort out the useful thoughts, and easily release any thoughts that are blocking your solution and your movement forward. Just really staying still and letting this light energy do all the work. It's cleaning and purifying your thoughts and rewiring the way that your thoughts are stored in your brain. Let yourself just settle and breathe deeply as this light does its work, maintaining that deep stillness and peaceful trust that this light energy is doing great positive work for you right now. And now, let your body take one last deep breath in, knowing that the thoughts remaining are those that serve you best and are grounded and present in solution and love, moving you forward.
Come back to awareness. Notice your surroundings. What do you see? Is there anyone beside you? What sounds do you hear? We are now going to take time for reflection. This reflection time is referred to as table time because this exercise is created to be shared with a discussion group of your peers. Feel free to gather around a table with your colleagues or head over to Corporate Harmony's virtual discussion group. This is also a time to stay focused on task. Be present in the moment, right here. You will see notes pages at the end of the manual section for personal use in gathering insights and questions as you move through the material. So take time to put pen to paper. There are never any wrong or bad answers. Seeing your words on paper allows your brain to open up to even greater possibilities. Putting your thoughts and feelings to words on paper opens your mind to your inner wisdom and greatness. Enjoy this time and share your insights with the discussion group. You will find this slide at the top of page 16 of Chapter 1 of your manual. Next session, we will continue with the first foundational principle of the self-awareness behavior domain, discover and establish your inner core, and a closer look at the skill of positive presence. So, until then, live each moment of each day with harmony and purpose, and allow your grandest dreams to come true.